All right. So we're ready. We're back. And we're willing. I don't know. What was that intro? I'm not
Nice.
alone today. I I am with Devin and
Yo.
here to kick off the set 16 leader breakdowns and some of the decks and things like that. Devin, welcome.
What's up? What's up? What's
Hi.
going?
Hello. We have Trunks and it's
Yes.
maybe the better version of Gogeta. Probably not, honestly. I mean,
Not sure.
a different version of Gogeta dot deck, but really not really because it's an engine, not a core engine. Apparently, I've been told.
Yes, it is a package, not a core engine.
It's a package, even though
There
it's
you go.
just thwarting and
All right, whatever.
Xeno stuff. Well, we got this.
Yeah.
Comes out of set 16, which is less than a month from now. Finally, it's supposed to be coming out in February.
Jesus.
But this guy, and I'll let you take it as far as this goes. But the only weekend side is the activate main, pitch a black card, draw 2 cards to your warp, and then 4 or less or 5 or more Saiyans in your warp, you can get to untap 1, draw 1. It's kind of busted.
Oh, good.
So yeah, what do you think about the Unawakened and then the Awakened?
So I remember when they showed this at Nats, like this, I just knew this leader was gonna be sick. So like getting a turn 1 when you like if you go first, like if you win the die roll and like you like with Gogeta, you all you do is put the cards in your warp, and then that's it. You pass. Whereas like here, like turn 1, you can +1. You know, like that's really good for like a turn 1 play.
Yeah.
And then like you get to awaken early, so you can awaken at high life if you really want to. On like turn 2, you can literally awaken with 8 life, which is like so sick to me.
Yeah.
So that's why I like this leader over Gogeta, because like I can awaken early while still putting on pressure at the same time. So I just like that better than like taking your own life and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so you explained the front side, and then the back side. It's kind of the same as the front side, except you attack. So you attack, or when this leader attacks, you draw 2 cards, and then you put it to the warp. So it's a little different than like the front side where you have to warp 1 and then draw 2. He's a blocker, which is pretty. Actually, it's important to remember that, because his second auto is when your opponent attacks your unison, you can restand him. So if they declare attack on your unison, you restand him, and then you can block that attack also in that same like chain. So you protect your unison, so like you can keep the markers on it for like spirit boost things and stuff like that. Which is also important for the next part of this leader, which is active main once per turn, spirit boost 1. You tap 1 colorless energy, and you can basically you just get to send a card to the warp essentially, for 1 energy, as long as you have a unison on board to spirit boost, obviously. But which is really good, especially in like the upcoming format where people are expecting like Sen Shenron to be like a dominant deck, for yellow and stuff. So like you can literally just for 1 energy just get rid of their 9-drop, so you don't have to worry about it for the rest of the turn, and then you can continue on with your plays. Like sure, they draw 2 cards, but like that's one of their 9-drops out of the game completely. Like they have no way to get it back. So once they're out of those, like that's it. Like you don't have to worry about it anymore. So that's huge. And then like other problematic cards that would be important as well. But that's the main one I saw was like, this is probably going to be really good for the coming format because of cards like that, or like with the red UI Goku, like that whole U7 deck. Like you're going to want to get rid of those cards, and like they can't touch them once they're in the warp. So yeah.
I mean, she does definitely look like something that, like you were talking about before, a little tempo, a little more mid-range.
He's a tempo Gogeta, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some advantages, not needing to swing to draw and as well as to awaken. And of course, protecting the unison, which by the way, I don't think that's how the auto works. We'll have to take a look, or at least double check, because the auto has to proc off as they attack. So as a turn or
Right. So
non-turn
they
player check
declare auto. They declare auto, and then or they declare attack, and
Yeah.
then the auto of the trunks will go off to restand it.
Yeah, but blocker is an auto. So I don't know if you can, like, the blocker has to be there. I guess someone needs to tell us in the comments where.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works, but I'm not. Yeah,
because I think that ruling is in yellow trunks. I'm pretty sure. If it's the same ruling or the same wording, then yeah, I think that's how it works. But I think the removal is great because, just like you were saying, like Sin Shenron just kind of just trashes on Gogeta a lot of the time.
So bad. It's such a bad matchup.
Yeah, just having the inherent removal is really good.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Also, let me explain this to people because I've seen so many people on DBS Deck Planet making this deck with this leader. You cannot use Fearless Fusion and Marvelous Might in this deck.
Okay.
I repeat, you cannot. It is a those two cards say Saiyan only. He is not Saiyan only.
Got it. He is Trunks or Saiyan and Earthling.
He is Earthling and a Saiyan. You can't use them.
Let's move on to the cards that you can use, which are the newer set 16 cards. Before this is 30 minutes talking about and talking trash to people building nice on DBS Deck Planet. I really do like these cards, you know, from the Supreme Kai, which is just stupid a lot of the time. The Power Awakening, which we've all seen, is a dual attacker with deflect and can manipulate your warp. And
you get a leader locked. You get a leader locked floodgate.
Topo, we have a 1 cost double striker 20k. A tutor and as well as good old Goku.
Okay, let me explain this Goku. Okay,
sure.
So there are certain times where you don't have anything to do on turn 1.
Okay.
So if you really need to use the energy for something, Goku can just filter a card in your hand if you need it, and you can combo him afterwards to get him in the drop for other things like war or for like Overrealm or for things like that. Or you could he's just another like 5k Goku for Thornton. So like that's the reason why I put him in here. But I also don't really like the double strike 5-drop Goku because in this deck more than the other one, because you can't use Marvelous Might, and that's usually what you bring him off of or what you bring him in off of. So yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Everything else you already explained it. I like the Trunks because you get to search your super combos, which is nice. So yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much everything in the deck close to it is searchable. Plus it gets your unison too.
Yeah, exactly.
And unison's really good. You get to draw one, add a marker when you play something from the warp, which pretty much all the stuff that we're seeing here. A lot of the stuff can be. And as well,
she doesn't have any secondary effect, which sucks, but I mean it's still really nice because you use a lot of spirit boost stuff on her. So
yeah, with the 3-drop Trunks banned, you don't really get the send up to 3 cards from your top of your deck to your warp, that free card back to your hand, but it's all right, I guess.
It's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's look at the old stuff.
Yes.
Old
faithful.
Deck. It's not really
reliable.
Okay. We have True Fighting Spirit, which is now unique, by the way.
Yes. Very important. This is unique now.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty annoying, like even when I was playing Black, that we have multiple True Fighting Spirits, and unless they have some sort of spot removal or like mass removal, it's really one of the two, honestly. And we just warping 2 just feels bad, honestly. If they have 2 there, and it's easy to get out. But yeah, we have the True Fighting Spirit Vegeta that has deflect, gains 10k when you swing and take a life, etc.
Yeah,
super
this
combo
card might actually end up being important. Now that I think about it, because like with Soul Striker possibly being a really big deck coming up, this might be a little more important than the Goku at this point.
Yeah, I mean just blue in general. Like we might see Zamasu, we might see Soul Striker, we might see like other blue decks come out of nowhere too. But yeah, definitely. And a super combo, obviously beyond all limits to get back a number of things, even the stuff that we just saw, like the newer cards. You can get back those things, and as well as thwarting, both thwartings. We already know those things. But far as supporting cards, before we take a look at the deck list, unless someone skipped to it, we
Yeah, if
have
you wanted to skip to it, that's pretty lame of you. But
I mean that's
yeah,
your words, but true. We have the Kai that basically stops 2 attacks if you do it right. We have the nude blocker, the
this card
negate
is so
blocker.
good. It's
Hmm.
so
I
good.
don't know why you're saying this so good. Like literally every other color had it. That's the same thing.
Yes, but it
Um,
helps with it helps black because now, like, it just gives you more defensive options. Because like black's always had a hard time with defense, right? It's a very aggressive color, so like giving us defensive cards is really helpful because now we don't have to sit there and hope we don't die,
mm,
rather than like sitting there with like a bunch of combo power and no like real things to save us, you know?
that's very descriptive. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, black has always been some sort of like aggro, but also kind of mid range. I think back in Toa, I mean that's it was like a
Yeah, I guess.
turn 1 to 4 kind of deck, but still, didn't really have too much defense, honestly. And then we also
Yeah,
have the unison we talked about. It was really good. Just draw 1. It's the Piccolo of for black, and then Super
pretty much.
Kamehameha gets around Topo and Bupo, even the new Pan with the
Hmm.
mirror match. Um,
Yes.
you know, things like that. And we also have obviously Fight Against Fate. You already know 25 dual attack for free, and all other
Yeah.
good cards like Pan.
Hmm.
And time regular, just time regular. I mean, how often do you actually overroam? Do you feel like?
Um,
Is it? Oh, you
it
know,
depends.
because of that 2 drop, the one that you pay 2, the 5 drop trunks, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that card really helps. That's why I run like a bunch of overwhelm in my deck now. Because the 5 drop just puts a bunch of cards back in your drop, so it sets up all your overwhelm plays.
Mm,
And also thwarting helps with that too because it puts 2 in there. And stuff like that. So
right.
that's my philosophy on it. It's like you filter a lot of stuff through your drop now, so you can overwhelm a little more in a deck like this,
Right.
which is really nice. And like Trunks time regulator, like you get to filter more cards through your like through your hand. Like if you have a bunch of brick cards, you can filter them. Even if the other Trunks didn't get banned, I still think I would have played this over that one in this deck particularly, not Gogeta obviously, but like this one I think it's just a little better in this one just because like um it like just more drawing, like seeing specific cards is a little more important in this deck, I think.
Yeah,
um
it's your leader on a stick as far as like
yeah,
drawing.
pretty
So.
much. Like it's just your leader and it sets up more of your warp plays. So
Hmm.
so like if you need a certain card in the warp or something like that, it helps set that up too. So it's
Right.
really good. And then brainwash,
We already
it's
know these
brainwash.
cards. Yeah.
And then pan, it's pan.
We
So
already know. Yeah, we already know. But what we don't know is the full list because we were missing a Champa.
yeah, we didn't
There
put
you go.
Champa in, but
I
there
mean,
it
it's
is.
Champa. I mean,
It's Champa. We
if
don't
you
need to explain it.
if you skip to this part, say it with me, Dev. Your
You suck.
mom's oh,
Oh, yeah.
never mind.
Your mom's
Okay. Well, he said it. I'm not giving the mom's ass. He so if you do have questions about the deck, definitely put it in the comments below. Put your own list. Hopefully
yeah.
it's not blocked.
I would like to see like other people's opinions on certain things and stuff like
Mm.
that, so I can get other options and things like that.
Yeah. Join the Discord in the description below. You can always put it in the deck list as well. The deck
Yeah,
list channel.
you can ping me or ping Droid, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Either way, either
Uh,
way. Here's some cards to consider.
yeah.
Right. Um.
Since like 5 drop Demigod can come back now that like this is a deck that's like a little it can be fast, like it can be very aggressive, but
Mm,
it's more of like a tempo, like you said earlier. So like you can play slower cards like Demigod and stuff like that.
mhm.
Um, yeah. The
Okay.
Vegeta's pretty good for like if Vegeta Trunks becomes a big deck. So you need to get rid of those like 3 drops and
Mhm.
the poutine and stuff. So that and then like other random cards like
You can
Secret
play
ID.
the blocker Gogeta, right? Is there any issues with that?
You can't.
Oh, it's only saying
It's
only,
saying
right?
only.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the alternative. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
So
which
that's
I'm
the
sure
only thing
someone
you're giving
has.
up in this deck. You're giving up draw and consistency for you're no, sorry. You're gaining draw and consistency. So like you don't mill your stuff like Gogeta does, but you also lose out on big cards like Fearless Fusion that like warp 4 or less,
Yeah.
ignoring barriers. So like you give and take. So like it's pros and cons to both. Like both are probably gonna be really good, but I mean it's just personal preference on the decks.
Yeah, for sure.
So this makes up for losing Fearless Fusion, I think.
Hmm. Then we have the new extra card. I think it's really good. I mean, all the extra cards are pretty decent except for green, which is
Yeah,
typical. Um,
typical. They hate
plus
green.
plus 10, and then on your turn you get to warp something. So again, in the mirror or something. I don't know, literally anything like Shenron.
Yeah,
Like that
yeah,
would
yeah.
come to mind. You can just warp it. Same thing as far as we're talking about before, and then you get to mill out and draw on
Yeah,
the opponent's turn.
it's a good card.
Yeah,
I don't see. I just don't think I could make room in the main for it, but I could see it being played. It's a good card
for sure.
for sure.
Then we have Tooth and Gates, Petrification, getting more and more traction every day that we talk about
Mm,
black. Port
Yep.
Power Burst, you talked about how it's probably not needed since you have more defensive options, and it's
Yeah.
nice to have a one cost back, but it's probably not needed overall, especially with the blocker negate, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly. You don't really need it, but like if you really feel like you need more negates, like I feel like you play it like enough in the main already. So like if you need more, if you feel like you need more, you can definitely play one of these two.
Hmm.
There are definitely good options to play.
Right. And last thing, we already know what Secret Identity does. The turns 1 to 3, with turns being the tutor, draw 1, as well as Truth Fighting Spirit. Kind of already talked about how strong he is. The
Yeah,
Unison, Thwarting, which you can play on really any turn, as long as you have it. And then
pretty much.
Pan for the defense. These guys are limited pretty much for 3 or more energy, or just as long as you have those conditions. And
Yeah,
this is
they have
for going
conditions,
first
fortunately.
or further beyond, like Super
Yeah,
Saiyan 3.
these are basically your like standard turns, like what you're gonna want to do every turn.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, this is basically your whole game plan. Then like beyond turn 3, you do whatever you want. Like yeah,
okay,
so
cool. And
yeah,
that wraps it up, man. I mean, pretty straightforward deck. As soon as you start playing it, it's just like Gogeta Xeno. I mean, we're blocking. You can't see it, but we're blocking this. But definitely let us know what you think in the comments below. And I don't think there's too much else, right? I mean, it's really
yeah,
about playing it. And I'm
yeah,
sure we'll get some more gameplay as set 16 slowly releases in a couple
yeah.
weeks from
Like I
now.
said, it's basically a personal preference on whether you want to play this or Gogeta at this point.
Mhm.
There's pros and cons to both decks. They're both really good. It's just up to what you want to play, pretty much, and what you feel more comfortable with playing,
Yeah.
and like a personal like play style. So
Mhm.
yeah,
For sure. Let us know in the comments below. Maybe that one dude who commented on your video who said you hated it every second of this. Um, Comment below. Let us know. Did he sound like the same way? Did it sound like he hated life and everything about it? I mean, who
oh,
knows?
because I hated
You
Icarus. I'll tell you right now, that
you
was
play
not fun to play.
plays more Yu-Gi-Oh than DBS right now. So
True.
well, well, it's okay. We're at the end of the video. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Later.